Hey, good morning, you guys. Dr. B here, and this is for Wednesday's morning of coffee talk. And I do have my coffee, and this morning I'm usually a drip coffee kind of guy, but not this morning. So, this is my last day in Alabama, and I decided to splurge, and I decided to get I think it's cinnamon latte. So, I am enjoying that, but I am at a place called it's called the West Main Coffee House, and I was here last week, but I want to kind of show you really cool, quaint coffee shop. So I am in the back room, and the reason I am here was a couple of years ago, Des and I sat in this very seat and actually shared coffee, shared a muffin, I think, with my mom. And those of you who know me know that my mom passed last year. So I thought, what a way just to come this morning and kind of connect with the memory of her. I did go and work out this morning. And so this is my last day in Alabama. And when you leave your parents, it's always hard. It's always hard. Every time we're in Minnesota, every time we leave my in-laws, I always see Des cry. Every time I leave my dad, now that my mom is gone, it's hard because there's nothing that promises tomorrow. And so as I was working out this morning, it was very interesting. And I'll tell you about my workout in just a second. But if you need something to pour into your spirit, if you're a man, there is a great podcast. It is called The David Alliance, and it's by a guy by the name of Garth Heckman. I've been listening to it for years. He is a pastor of a church in New Prague, I think it's the way it's called, Minnesota. And he is just an amazing connector. I heard him speak at a chiropractic conference called Big Fish a few years ago. But man, what a dude. And it's all about being a better man and being a better person, and it's geared towards men, but women get a lot out of it too, because it's all about being better fathers, better Christians, better husbands, so that we can be better all around and be more supportive and be more intentional when it comes to our brides. However, one of the things in the podcast he was talking about this morning was comfort, and he was talking about the world, and the world has taught us that we should not be uncomfortable. And we see that in parents who are more interested in being friends than are more interested in disciplining their children. We see that in spouses that just roll over, that don't really expect a lot from themselves, and they basically just become a shell of the person that their mate actually met. And so one thing I learned through working out, Coach Frank, who owns the F45 that I work out at, he said this quote, and it really has impressed upon me a lot this year, that comfort is the killer of progress. And so when he talked about this and said comfort is the killer of progress, it's so, so true. When you grow, when it comes to athletic things, it's all about being intentional. It's all about pushing through the hard parts. You guys have heard me say that I failed a lot in my life. It's about pushing through the hard parts and learning the lessons and really understanding why what happened to you happened, and more importantly, what was your role in that and how you can do better from not getting back to that same situation that you're in. So let me tell you about my workout. So yesterday when I worked out, we have a big Grand Canyon qualifying hike coming up this weekend, and that workout is going to be probably about 6 hours this weekend. It's going to be hot. It's going to be long. It's 12 miles. It's 3,300 feet of elevation gain. And for those people that are hiking with us this weekend that are in the valley, it's a qualifier for our Grand Canyon trip that's coming up in late May, and you've got to do it in under 7 hours. So yesterday, let me back up. So how to describe the Grand Canyon when you hike it is, imagine you've walked for 8 hours. You've had a great day, it's all fun and games, and now you have to climb 500 floors of stairs to get out. Because the last 5 miles of the Grand Canyon to get out is the equivalent of 500 floors on a stair mill. So, if you want a challenge, start working on stepping. Now, yesterday I did 150 floors, and this last 2 months of training, I will ramp up the time that I spend on the stair mill. And 150 floors, those of you who do it all the time, you're like, what is that? That's easy. And you think it's easy until you actually do it. So it can be tough, but I got 150 done yesterday. So now my workout today, I showed up and I could tell real fast that my legs were fatigued from yesterday. So I got about 50 floors into it and I got off. and I went over to the elliptical and I worked on the elliptical for about 30 minutes. And then I went back and I finished on the stair mill and I finished my workout up. And I share that with you because every single day is an opportunity to challenge yourself. And I could tell right away based on my heart rate that when I was on the stair mill and I was climbing to the upper ends of zone 4 and I didn't really feel like I was working that hard, that I had some fatigue in my legs and that I needed to change course for today. However, I didn't quit. I didn't abort the workout. I called an audible. I still got in good work. I got in a good sweat. And now I'm done with that part of my day. And so now I'm enjoying some coffee. And now I'm just connecting with the memory of my mom who passed away last April. So my share for you today in this coffee talk is be present. Do hard things. It doesn't have to be exercise. Maybe there's a conversation you need to have today that'll give you peace of mind. And it may not go the way that you think it should. Maybe there is somebody, whether it be a child, that you need to give some tough love and you need to have an honest conversation and say, look, my job is to raise you to be a responsible adult. My job is to not to be your best friend and give you everything in life I never had. Because, what did we say? You get what you work for, not what you wish for. So I think it's really, really important to step into that gap and do everything you can each and every day. So I am going to catch my flight this afternoon heading back to Arizona. But one more time, if you're ever in Prattville, Alabama, this is close to Heritage Park where I did my post at last week. Great coffee shop called the Main Street Creamery. So, all right, be well, Des. Let's see if you watched it to the end. I love you. I'll see you soon.